Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another amazing match here at the Rose Cup. I'm your play-by-play Captain Jack, joined by Megalad on the color roll tonight. How you doing tonight, Megalad?
Howdy, howdy, I'm doing just well.
All right, well, we're going to have to speed through this because apparently everyone is incredibly excited for this Masters quarterfinals playoffs match between the second seed Connection Lost and seed 7 Nebula Triangulum, otherwise known as the OTL Nerds previously. Just recently changed their name and I would imagine ownership over to the Nebula organization. Good to always see a family thriving in that way. So let's go ahead and break down the teams, and then we'll break down the info. Going to the roster of Nebula Triangulum, we've got OG Mudbone and the Queen coming in on the tank rolls, Explosivo and Budget Jonak coming in on the DPS, and Zedox and Rebler coming in on the heals. For Connection Lost, we've got Anxiety and Panda Kai coming in on the tanks, Ninja and Nyquist on the DPS, and Echo and Ubi Pro coming in on the heels. So as they go ahead and boot up the match, going to Lijiang Tower for our first map of the evening, let me go ahead and give you a rundown of what these teams have been through this season. Connection Lost coming into the playoffs with a 12 and 0 perfect streak with a positive 45 map differential. They were two maps from it being a completely perfect season. Going up against Nebula Triangulum, currently coming into the series 7th place at 9 and 4 with a positive of 29. Now, Connection Lost, being as they were the higher seed, ended up getting a bye in the round of 12. And during the round of 12, Nebula Triangulum ended up facing off against Team Komodo, giving them a 3 and 0 in that round of 12. So they are ready and raring to go for this match. Megalad, what do you think we're going to end up seeing between these two teams this evening?
Well, it's actually interesting because Double Barrier, while it is still technically the most dominant meta, because of the fact we have this looming PTR patch that's going to nerf all barriers, a lot of teams have been scrimming and practicing on this PTR patch, so it's potential that they're not really ready to go back to Double Barrier because it's not what they've been running. So here on Lijiang, you're at least going to see a start of Ryan Zarya, which could be interesting.
They definitely will be. And we've got Budget Jonak and Explosivo coming in on that Doomfist Widow comp with that double barrier. So they're looking to at least fight against the double barrier. Explosivo getting that first pick onto Nyquist very early in that fight as they just shoot through that narrow corridor trying to get pick after pick. We're going to see Explosivo make their way to the objective. Ended up getting a side shot in there, not being able to take it down, though. Anxiety does end up falling to OG Mudbone as they move their way into the objective. Explosivo gonna, well, did look like they were gonna solo cap it, but just moves off the objective completely nonchalantly. Panda Kai and Ubi Pro able to get a couple picks, but the Queen and Explosivo going to lock down that objective 5% and climbing, but the fight is still continuing in this side room as we see Panda Kai and Ubi Pro trying to hold on with all their lives. Anxiety with a shatter from the side as the bongos came down. Explosivo blowing the mind off of Anxiety as Zedox ends up taking down Ninja 22% and climbing as we see Ubi Pro go for that hard reset to regroup with the rest of the team.
So thus far this match, we've just seen Explosivo being able to take these wide angles, getting that nice initial pick onto the Reaper, which allowed his team to fight there. But then just there's been no contest for the Widowmaker, and what's going to contest realistically in this composition? You'd have to send Lucio out of your way, and by that point you're just one healer dealing with two barriers. It's just not going to end well for you.
I'm really interested to see how this is going to go down as they move in once again. 50% and climbing for the side of Nebula Triangulum. Moving their way in is Ninja and Nyquist. Ends up getting the triple right there between them. Ubi Pro following up on Zedox and clearing the objective as Connection Lost, looking to take control, but the continued feed, Explosivo able to get that little bit more percentage. Going to move over to control for Connection Lost. 67% for Nebula Triangulum.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like right there, Connection Lost played it perfectly. They knew that they couldn't contest the Widow themselves, so they instead just rushed the point, forced the 6v5 fight, and it got them this. But now, moving forward, they're gonna have to use Love as Love.
That Gravitic Flux coming in does get 3, but not much of a cleanup. Jonak getting Ubi Pro. Blossom out from Ninja ends up getting 2, but Jonak taking down Anxiety. Gonna take down a lot of protection. Nyquist coming in with the Meteor Strike as well. Not able to get a lot onto Nyquist as Explosivo popping the top of Nyquist and Ubi Pro. The control of the objective going back over to Nebula Triangulum, 70% in climbing to the 35% of connection loss.
I mean, just Explosivo on this Widowmaker is just on a rampage. There's nothing really to stop it. Ooh, that could have been a huge poop from Zedox there.
Very close.
But now we see them rotating back into point. Anxiety could hit a Fat Shatter if we can get through both shields.
Coalescence coming out from Ubi Pro as they push in, ends up allowing Anxiety to help take down the bongos. Pop by Mudbone. Shatter comes down but gets blocked as Anxiety still able to get the tackle onto Mudbone. Moving their way in. It's a 5v5 fight. Overtime ticking away right now as we see Nebula Triangulum trying to hold on for dear life, but getting shredded by connection loss. Gonna go ahead and regain control and start that percentage climb again. 40% and climbing. Oh! But Mudbone getting the final pick there onto Pandakai with that halt.
That could be devastating because Pandakai was the only one on connection loss who was even close to an ultimate up. Nobody else is even near it. Obviously, there's not a whole lot to deal with on the other side, but there's going to be a Coalescence as well as a Meteor Strike coming out online, and the man advantage could be enough.
Well, we did see Nyquist swap on over to that Tracer, trying to take care of Explosiva in the backline. We're going to see now Pandakai moving back into the objective in this 5v5 fight. Explosivo moving into the objective, seeing if they can get picks as the Meteor Strike comes down from Jonak, looking to see to pick up. Shatter coming in from Anxiety, allowing the team to clean up or at least try to escape as the Coalescence ends up getting 3 from Ubi Pro, 80% in climbing for the side of connection loss.
I mean, right there, Triangulum really needed to take that fight decisively and quickly before ultimates could be built, and unfortunately, they just allowed connection loss to extend it as long as they did. Now we're approaching final fight, overtime territory, and the Grav.
Ooh, here comes the Grav, but they protect, gonna move on in. The suck coming in from the Queen, being able to hold out that Blossom as overtime ticking away. 99-99 now, a trade of kill. 4 kill as the Queen ends up taking down Anxiety, making it a 4v5 fight. That's the Gravitic Flux now coming out, looking to get the Wraithing. Reaper will be successful. Ninja's in it, gets taken down by the Queen as Explosivo follows up onto Echo, the only one left on the objective, as Pandakai rejoins his Nyquist but gets taken down by the Rock as they continue to try to hold on to that objective, trying to keep it from gaining in their favor. The Shatter comes down from Anxiety, but Budget Jonak getting the double kill onto Pandakai and Anxiety. Overtime ticking away, and that is just the first map, folks. 100-99% going to Nebula Triangulum.
Yes, and Triangulum there at the end, Explosivo gives up the Widowmaker game, shows that the Reaper is still just as powerful against this composition. Unfortunately, when you're not running that double barrier mirror, you're kind of just at a loss, but like I said, it's quite possible connection lost. Could have been banking on the patch to roll through where Ryan Zarya could potentially be more powerful, and they could have just caught the wrong end of the days, but they still got it to 99%. They still held their own in plenty of fights, so this is far from over, especially now with Nyquist on the May.
And at the end of the day, we're still finding that this is an incredible fight. That was incredibly close for these two teams coming into this, and just because they're practicing the Ryan Zarya on this map doesn't mean that they don't have the double shield in the pocket. So let's go ahead and see if they can make it happen as Nebula Triangulum already moving into the objective before it unlocks here in the next 15 seconds. Already taking control. The Rock comes out, stunning Anxiety, forcing them to move back under the protection of the area. Jonak gonna end up getting the first pick onto Nyquist right there as they go ahead and move their way into the objective, getting stunned out over and over and over again. Control already going to the side of Triangulum, but still the fight continues to go on. Shatter coming in, and it is bad! Ends up getting a quad right there with the cleanup from Pandakai and Anxiety. That's going to clear the objective. Team kill ringing loud and proud as connection loss takes control after 17% for the side of Triangulum.
And that's a huge bunker break right there because now you're going to have the better positioning. with this composition because the bunker's not going to be allowed to set up with both of its shields. It's pretty much going to be a force coalescence that you're seeing here just to initiate.
Ooh, but that Maywall gonna block off that healing and damage that's coming in. The Rock following up ends up meeting Anxiety Shield, not doing a whole lot of damage. Gravitic Flux coming in, looking to do some damage, but the beat drop coming in from Echo gonna prevent a lot of that nonsense. Explosivo gets taken down by Pandakai, but so does Ninja. So both Reapers out of the fight right now as they fight to get in and retake control. Bongos now coming out, but the Maywall trying to hold up does not. As Pandakai holding on to that Graviton Surge, looking to use it here in the near future as they're moving into the objective. 47% and climbing for the side of Connection Lost. Ninja able to get back in the fight, ends up taking down Jonak, and the fight continuing on in this Masters Division match. Nyquist ends up falling to DeQueen. It is a 5v4 fight currently on the objective as they move their way in, make that 6v4. Graviton Surge coming in as the Blossom from Explosivo looking to get a hit, but the elbow drop and punch ends up solidifying those kills for Jonak. Explosivo following up on Pandakai, and that's a clear of the objective. 76% for the side of Connection Lost, 20% in climbing for Nebula Triangulum.
I mean, if you're Connection Lost, though, you'll happily take that because that was pretty much a lost fight somewhere around the 40% mark when you first lost your Reaper, but you were able to just extend it out, force out ultimates on the other side, and now you're going to be coming up on a huge ult bank of your own with Blizzard, Shatter, and Coalescence.
Can I just say how incredibly surprised I was at the fact that they didn't notice Explosivo right behind them on that high ground. And that Gravitic Flux is going to solidify that stop of that push right there. 50% in climbing for the side of Nebula Triangulum, 76 still for Connection Lost.
Yes, indeed, but all you have for Triangulum is going to be this Meteor Strike. Budget Jonak's going to have to make it big here, or there's just going to have to be some huge pick potential coming out from anybody on this team because there wasn't a single ult used by Connection Lost in that last fight, so they have it all here now.
Well, here comes that Blizzard now, able to move out of it. Meteor Strike coming in from Jonak to be able to escape, looking to see if they can take down Pandakai, but will be unsuccessful. Do end up taking down Nyquist as Control now moving back over to Connection Lost, but the fight is far from over as Explosivo taking down Anxiety, who is distracting the rest of the team from allowing Connection Lost to take the objective. The Bongos coming out right now as the Maywall ends up separating out the Bongos from DeQueen, as well as the rest of the team. That's going to end up wasting that ultimate. 98% almost there as we see DeQueen touching the objective to get overtime ticking away right now. We're going to see that beat drop coming in right now from ZDox, looking to see if they can hold on to the objective for as long as possible. The Queen getting frozen in the side by the May ends up separating them out, continuing to contest this overtime. Gravitic Flux comes out, grabbing the May, allowing Mudbone to take down Nyquist. Ninja falling up on Explosivo once again, coming in, looking to see if they can take down Mudbone as Echo ends up booping to Queen right off of the side. Overtime continuing to tick away as the Graviton coming in with the Blossom ends up solidifying this objective. 100 to 74% for the side of Connection Lost. Folks, it's already a tied fight going into our final map here on Lijiang Tower.
Yes, indeed, and based on what these two teams are playing, unless somebody's going to switch something up here, I'm going to have to favor Connection Lost because this point is pretty much kind of where Ryan Zarya got its mark on Lijiang, where it started out, and just that last fight there, Nyquist also being able to hold the Blizzard as long as he did, instead of throwing it away in any sort of fight, able to commit as a team. It really just showed their teamwork.
Well, I'm really interested to see how this will end up going down. It looks like Explosivo and Jonak have swapped over to the May Reaper, aka the new Goats, going into this match. So maybe they're hoping to use that to their advantage as they go ahead and move into the objective. The high ground Ore being captured by the side of Connection Lost. Maywall separating out either team, but no one able to really commit to be able to get picks on that. Budget Jonak able to take down Anxiety with the help of Explosivo's freeze, but Ninja gonna return the favor right to them as Explosivo taking down Nyquist, countering the counters right there. Control still looking to be successful right there as the Maywall trying to separate out Mudblood from Ninja right there. Gonna be unsuccessful though as they continue to fight for control of the objective. Currently it is in favor of Lost Connection. The tackle ends up coming in, taking down Jonak, and now we're going to see Connection Lost take the objective. That Coalescence shoring up control and pushing a Nebula Triangulum back to spawn.
Yes, indeed. I mean, that was just an unfortunate brawly fight, and when you get into those brawly sort of engagements, Reinhardt is always going to be able to out-damage any other tank on the other side because he can just swing that hammer and throw the shield up right away if he thinks there's a problem. But now we have Ninja hiding in the corner, possibly ready to blossom, but they saw him.
Ooh, Shatter comes in, gets 3 in the Blossom, ends up cleaning up, damage-wise at least, as Anxiety, Pandakai, and Nyquist all getting credit for those kills. 32% and climbing for the side of Connection Lost.
Yes, indeed. They did have to spend 2 ultimates to get that fight, but it's 2 ultimates you can definitely earn back, especially with what else you have online. It's like Blizzard and Graviton each alone can...
Ooh, Graviton Surge coming out as Ninja working in that backline. The beat drop comes out from Edux as well as the Blizzard from Explosivo. Ends up getting 3 between Mudbone and Zedox, moving their way into the objective. 60% and climbing right now for Connection Lost as Ninja taking down Jonak in the backline. But Rebler going to be able to follow up on that as we see the Maywall go up, separating out Connection Lost from the rest of their team. Shatter comes down but goes straight into a shield as they get frozen. Now we're going to see the Gravitic Flux getting the double right here. Able to take down Pandakai, but currently surviving is Anxiety, going ahead and tackling back to the spawn as we see Nyquist probably going to end up falling a very sure death right here. Ninja continuing to keep that percentage climbing, but that's going to be it. 92%, 91% rather, for the side of Connection Lost, as now we see that percentage climb for Nebula Triangulum.
But Connection Lost, they will take that every day. They lost that fight somewhere around 65 to 70% and were able to take it up to 91. That puts them in 1 fight territory, and they preserved the Blizzard for this next fight right here.
Ooh, that Blizzard coming out onto the bongos as Nyquist takes them out, looking to see if they can solidify some kills with that, as everyone was able to get out of the Blizzard successfully. Coalescence once again coming out for Ubi Pro, looking to see if they can top it out. Budget Jonak with the Blossom does get Ninja, but falls to Ubi Pro as Rebler also bringing out the Coalescence to try to even things out. Shatter straight into DeQueen's shield as Anxiety does tackle Explosivo. It is a 3v3 fight on the objective right now as they continue to try to fight for control. The Reapers getting back into the match as the Graviton comes down. Blossom and Gravitic Flux cancel out each other as Ninja takes down DeQueen, but Mudbone takes down Anxiety. Ninja in that backline, giving up that Fortnite life to be getting pick after pick on this objective as the Blizzard now looking to at least hold control of the objective for the rest of the team to be able to get back in. Explosivo taking down Ninja. Now we're seeing the swap of Anxiety onto the Hammond, looking to see if they can use that spin to win tactic, but gonna end up retreating with the rest of the team. 80% and climbing for the side of Nebula Triangulum.
Yes, indeed. I mean, unfortunately, the compositions there just, it was the best that they could do, and ultimates got expended on both sides, and now you're looking at this 1 fight territory. It could potentially be game set match here.
All right, well, we're in final fight territory now. 98% and climbing as overtime ticks away. Coalescences and Bongos unite, or beat drops rather, as we continue to move our way into the objective. Jonak and Ninja exchanging kills on either side as Explosivo follows up onto Anxiety. The fight continuing on as Nyquist using the icicle to try to hold on, but they're off the objective. We're seeing Mudbone swapping over to the Hammond, trying to hold on to the objective, get that overtime ticking away as quickly as possible as Jonak taking down Echo. The Graviton ends up coming down, but so does the beat drop. Jonak coming in with the Blossom, gets the double as the slam coming in from Anxiety, trying to hold on to the Queen, taking down Ubi Pro. The only one left on the objective was Anxiety, gets tackled off, and Nebula Triangulum will take away the first match of the evening here on Lijiang Tower.
And I mean, that's a third map that Connection Lost has lost this season, so you know it's possible they could be feeling that, and there could be just a whole entirety of a mental boom starting. But it's never too late, you know. You lose one map, it's how it be. There's still plenty more to go because we are playing that lovely little it's first of three.
And I mean, we're talking about the best of the Masters division going on right here. So if you lose one map, like, you shouldn't feel bad about that in the playoffs. Like, that's eventually going to happen to you one way or another. So Nebula Triangulum moving into the second map with one win under their belt. Note, they are the underdog coming into this situation. In the playoffs, they were 9-4. During the regular season, they were 9-4 coming into the playoffs. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to end up going down. It looks like we are headed to Hanamura for our next map of the evening. Going into the chat, it looks like we're getting a spam of green paint gang, and I don't know what that means. I'm going to assume that that's Nebula Triangulum territory right there, but I'm not completely for certain right there. Definitely not something I've seen. Let me go ahead and move my way up the chat to see what everybody else has been talking about. Valor saying "Me gusta explosivo." Every time I say that name, it reminds me of Tenacious D, and I just hear like rock guitars going on in my head as they've been playing incredibly between the Widowmaker and the Reaper, just popping off over and over again. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. It looks like for the most part we've just got a lot of people. 41 viewers currently right now for this evening, so everybody obviously is ready to see the showdown go down. As Little Super Soaker saying, "Panda Kai is my baby daddy." Oh boy.
Sure.
I don't know if Panda Kai should take that as a compliment or not. Not exactly for certain. Oh, look at that. The Nightbot posting about Matcherino. One of the many ways that you can support our amazing community. Just go ahead, hit that link in the chat right there. That'll take you to our Matcherino page, currently sitting at, I believe, about $400 for the season. That ends up getting separated out throughout all of our teams that come up as finalists. So 5 teams will be walking away with approximately like $60 to $70, and for a free tournament, I wouldn't say that that's too bad. You know, get yourselves like some stickers or something. I don't know what you'd get. I don't know what 5 people would get with $50. I know it doesn't. I know it's not much in our real world aspect, but I mean, it's something. You end up winning something for it. So. What do we see coming out here, Megalad?
Well, we see the mirror of Double Barrier, but interestingly enough, here on the defense for Nebula Triangulum, they're deciding to run the Junkrat, something that hasn't been seen a whole bunch of, but I personally think we could see a bit more of, just because of the shield break potential that it has.
Woo! Well, what I find incredibly interesting is we're seeing a copying composition coming in right now, as now Connection Lost taking on that double shield meta. Jonak able to take down Nyquist on that Mei very early in the fight, but despite it being 4v6 right now, they're going to continue to move their way into the objective. 3, 2, and I think that's going to be it, as Explosiva picking off Ninja mid-air with that icicle headshot. That takes some incredible timing right there.
Yes, indeed. Huge aim, as we see Nyquist switching on over to the Pharah now, so you're definitely going to expect, yep, there it is, Echo switching to the Mercy as well, run that composition. But it was interesting there just because you had the Junkrat on the ground, so you wanted to speed in if your Connection Lost. It just seems to be their playstyle, but once you got past your shields, but a huge pick that should not have happened.
Bro, I completely agree with you right there. Ubi Pro picking off Mudbone very early in the fight as they swap over to the Far Mercy. The Coalescence coming out from Rebeler, taking that Far Mercy right out of that high ground advantage right there. As we see them getting surrounded, Ubi ends up getting cut off by Explosivos Maywall, but that's not going to be enough. The Queen able to take down Ninja as the tire comes out, getting the double kill, taking down Panda Kai and Ubi Pro. Rebeler following up onto Anxiety. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock as they go ahead and shut down that objective capture. Not a tick to be had.
I mean, that was almost a guaranteed push until Rebeler starts to bring it back with the kill on the pharmacy, because you just lose your Orisa to a Moira orb there. That's not something you want. But then, of course, Jonak finishing it off with the tire. But you did have to spend that tire, so you're going to have to rebuild it back up. But otherwise, you have all your ultimates online for the defense here.
And the thing that's really hurting them right now is the of the shields. They've got to dedicate one of those shields to the Far Mercy because they don't really have something that can take it out of the sky. So they're ending up finding themselves in a losing battle as Ubi Pro able to get that first pick. Oh! Oh, man. Oh, that Triple Blossom coming in from Ninja. Going to go ahead and probably solidify this objective as Ninja getting the punch kill onto Queen and Nyquist taking down Z-Dox. That's going to go ahead and solidify objective alpha, giving them approximately 1 minute, 15 seconds once they finally capture it. Add an additional 3 minutes. That gives them about 4 minutes to take objective Bravo.
Yes, indeed. And I think Nyquist there pretty much just intended to shoot the Sigma's shield, not because they wanted to rain damage through it, but to break the shield. That way, once the Blossom goes in for Ninja, there's no shield to stop it. There's nothing to really do anything about it, and it works like a charm. And now we see Ninja switching over to the Hanzo, just really hoping for more pickoff opportunities.
All right, moving into the objective right now is Connection Lost. Using the bongos, the Blizzard rather comes out, but Nyquist with the barrage ends up getting two. DeQueen following up gets two as well as the fight continues. The res coming in for Anxiety, trying to keep the fight going as Panda Kai takes down DeQueen, and Jonak following up onto Nyquist. It is a 4v6 fight as now we're going to see the tackle coming in from Mudbone, swapping over to the Reinhardt, just trying to get them off the objective as they already have a tick to their name. Panda Kai following up on Jonak as they continue to fight their way back into the objective after that huge tackle. Explosivo ends up falling to Panda Kai as well. It is a 4v4 fight on the objective as now we see the swaps over. Z-Dox swapping over to the Batiste, looking to use that immortality field to their advantage, but gets taken down by Anxiety as we now see the Queen coming in as the ham and almost getting taken down, will get taken down by Panda Kai as well as Mud Dome right there. Following up with that Pulse Bomb does get Echo, so no more reses on the field, but they still got Ubi Pro with that Moira coming out with the Coalescence, looking to see if they can clean up Shatter. Ends up going straight into the stairs. Doesn't get a lot of value out of it, and the cleanup is beginning once again. We're seeing between Z-Dox and DeQueen trying to hold on to the objective is proving rather challenging. We're going to see them move on in as Ubi Pro takes down Rebeler, but pick by pick, feed by feed, nobody is able to keep this contested enough for them to be able to hold on. Forbidden Flux coming out from Panda Kai as they continue to try to hold on, gets taken down by it, as we now see the meteors, the minefield rather, coming down from the Queen, trying to hold on, gets both the healers. This may be exactly what they need as Ninja now on the Hanzo takes down Explosivo with the Storm Arrow. It is a 3v3 fight as the tackle ends up coming in, almost missing as we see Panda Kai still somehow able to continue holding on to the objective despite not having a single healer in the fight. We see the healers now coming their way back in as Z-Dox does take down Nyquist. They're able to fight them off the objective, but the overall fight continuing to go as Mudbone using the Fire Strike to take down Echo, Ninja falling to DeQueen, and finally we will clear Connection Lost of this objective. 1 minute, 25 seconds on the clock.
It was clutch play after clutch play. Oh my goodness, you had Budget Jonak on the Tracer getting crucial pickoffs. Then you had Ninja responding on the Hanzo. Ultimates were getting traded back and forth, but ultimately finally swung it in the favor. was the queen on that Hammond, able to pick off both supports. And now with less than a minute on the clock, with everybody forced to kind of switch and reset ultimates, you're just kind of stuck with this Mercy now because it has Valkyrie. But that's a huge pick.
All right, well, the huge pick already from Ninja, getting that Sonic Arrow right between Jonak's eyes. It's a 5v6 fight, moving into the objective as they have swapped back over to the traditional double barrier composition. Maywall's coming up, trying to see if they can trap themselves on the objective. Which Blizzard comes out first? It's going to be Explosivo as they look to clean up. Mudbone following up on Anxiety. The Dragon Strike ends up coming in, but not getting any value out of it. Jonak following up onto Panda Kai. 24 seconds remaining on the clock as they continue to fight their way in, but now they're moving their way out, looking to see if they can get some extra picks. Reveler taking down Ninja. 15 seconds remaining on the clock as they go ahead and push out of the objective. Somebody is going to have to make their way around to be able to touch, and look, Anxiety! Nobody's near the point! They might be able to get it as Explosivo ends up getting booped off at the last second! Oh, man!
Wait. With 0.1 on the clock, so even if there's time in the bank for the side of Nebula Triangulum, there still will be a second attack round.
0.1 seconds. 0.1 seconds, folks. This is wow. This is wow. Oh, man. I am just a little beside myself there, and I was hoping that Explosivo would have been able to icicle there at the last second before getting booped off, but nope. They must have used it previously, or thought that they might have been able to get into that be able to touch without using the icicle, but unfortunately that was wow. I am just I've got no words. I've got no words for that. That was just. I always tell teams that I play with, and I know that this is Masters and I play in Platinum, but it always stands like, don't get cocky at the end. There's always a way for them to touch the point. They had the Hammond right there. If they didn't have the Hammond, they probably would have ended up having a Tracer or somebody that would have been able to zip over that right side of the map to be able to touch the objective to get that final tick, because that's all it would have ended up taking. And that ended up just shooting them right in the foot when it came to taking this map right now. They're going to have to dole out just a little bit extra to be able to solidify this map win.
My jaw's still on the floor. I'm shocked. But
and everyone in the chat saying C9, C9. Ooh. Oh, this is gonna be huge right here. Moving in, separating out the team. Anxiety ends up falling to the Queen, but Nyquist takes down Mudbone as Ninja following up on Reveler. It's a 4v5 fight. Make that 3v5 as Pandakai and Nyquist taking down T-Dox and Jonak. The Res tries to come in and will be successful for Anxiety, as already in the first 30 seconds they have been pushed off the objective.
So now you're seeing the switch up. You have the McCree coming out for Explosivo to try to counter this pharmacy because it's just running uncontested in the skies. They either have to dedicate a shield or just let it pepper them. But Explosivo alone might not be enough. You might have to hope for like a lucky uppercut or something from Budget Jonak to get you there, but
possibly that Halt coming in, gonna get a lot of damage as the Barrage Ore coming down, but not able to get a kill. Jonak getting the double with the uppercut onto Nyquist and Pandakai right there. It's Mega Lad, it's like you knew. It's like you knew, fam.
Yeah, listen, so I'm actually replacing Brenna's Oracle next season. Fun facts.
Ah, gotcha. Well, they've got plenty of time to work with. 2 minutes, 30 seconds as they go ahead and grab objective number 1. Connection lost, going to have to hold up to 5 minutes and 30 seconds of complete torture if they want to hold off this defense and take this map away very early in this fight. But the question is, can they do it? Nyquist switching over to the Mei does not have the Blizzard online, so they're gonna have to use everything else to make that work as Ubi Pro and Ninja coming out with the Dragon Strike and Coalescence. They do end up grabbing Explosivo as they pull everyone off the side. Ninja following up on Rebler as Ubi Pro takes down Z-Dox. I think this is going to be a clear of this objective fight so far. 4 minutes 4 minutes 50 seconds on the clock rather, as they go ahead and set up for another push for the side of Triangulum.
Yes, indeed. And just a beautiful defense. You didn't really have to expend a whole lot. You threw dragons and your coalescence in that, both of which you can rebuild very quickly. Otherwise, you've got all your ultimates online for the defense. So unfortunately, it's going to have to probably be a push or two where you're just trying to burn ultimates from the side of connection loss. But still have quite a bit of a bank to work with yourself, pretty much short of everything. Or you have everything short of Blizzard.
I think the one that's going to be hardest for them is this right here, the Gravitic Flux. Actually, the ones they ended up grabbing were the ones that could get out of the Gravitic Flux with no issue. Now we're going to see the Blizzard coming out from Nyquist as they go ahead and move their way in. That Gravitic Flux able to get a kill with the Meteor Strike, taking down Anxiety, but the rest of the team going to get wiped up. Ultimates are going to be reset, except for Ninja and Ubi Pro, as Nyquist gets the final 2 picks. 3 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock.
Yes, indeed. So now, Ninja, obviously the dragons haven't been showing up in the kill feed, but the zoning power that they've had has been immense. Same with the Coalescence. And it's just the power that these ultimates have. They're just very long, linear things that can cut teams in half, better than any Mei wall could because the damage is too severe as we see them approach high ground now.
And they're moving their way in. Dragon Strike going in, separating out the team as well as that Mei wall, but they're going to end up successfully holding on as we see the uppercut coming in from Jonak, ends up taking Anxiety off of that high ground. That's going to allow them to take control as Nebula Triangulum trying to work their way around the objective. We see Z-Dox working on that high ground in Reddit Lucio fashion. Coalescence coming out from either side. It's the battle of the Kamehamehas as Anxiety ends up taking down Jonak. Z-Dox follows up onto Nyquist. This may be the fight they need, as Explosivo following up on Anxiety and Panda Kai Ubi Pro falling to Rebler. As we see now, Ninja, the only one left, gets taken down by a Rebler as well. They're looking to see if they can hold on as Rebler taking down Echo. With Slam now coming in, double Blizzards. Oh wait, whoa! Nyquist getting shut down before their Blizzard could end up hitting the field. 2 ticks on the objective, 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock as Rebler getting pick after pick. The res successfully coming in, but doesn't end up getting Panda Kai because Panda Kai hadn't fully spawned into the objective yet. They're just beating the objective over and over and over again, and they cannot clear every member of the team off of it. Explosivo with the double kill. Ninja just barely able to touch along with Echo, gets shut down by Mudbone, and with 2 minutes 47 seconds on the clock, now giving another minute to the side of Connection Lost. They have got quite a fight on their hands to be able to hold this first and second objective once again.
Yes, indeed. I mean, the defenses, though, have been incredible from both of these teams. As you see, they're pretty much, even though a fight is guaranteed lost, there's still like an extra minute that gets burned off the clock there, that Connection lost just by stalling, throwing themselves on over and over again. Granted, you hope to get the picks, that way you can turn it, but you'll still take the time bank burn, especially considering the time bank you're up against now. A minute to 247. That 247 could feel like an eternity compared to a minute.
And one thing that we have been continuing to talk about as we look at the playoffs now, note, there is a lot of work, and I want to give some shout outs to Alex, who is our main person that developed all the different rankings, was able to put together the playoffs brackets. Just did an incredible job, Alex. We could not have done everything without you, but as I've spoken with Alex about quite a few times, it's very difficult to balance out the different conferences. As we're seeing here, 2 teams from 2 completely different conferences, but Nebula Triangulum looking to hold up to the second place of Connection Lost, or the first place of Connection Lost. So the question ends up remaining: did Connection Lost get an easy win set, easy set of teams in their conference moving into the playoffs? And will they end up finding themselves in a difficult situation? Or is Nebula Triangulum just kind of getting lucky right now?
I don't know, but there's a back cap out of me, so there's already a tick of progress.
Woo! A 1 tick Ore taken by the side of Connection Lost as 30 seconds remain on the clock. We end up seeing this Bastion get melted by Nyquist right there with the help of Anxiety. It is a 5v6 fight on the objective right now as Explosivo tying it up. Coalescence coming out for Ubi Pro first, ends up allowing Ninja to take down Z-Dox. As they continue to fight, Ninja's going to follow up on Mudbone. Panda Kai and Ubi Pro end up clearing the objective, and with overtime ticking away, I think that is going to be Objective Alpha. That will give them an additional 30 seconds to take Objective Bravo, which, to be completely honest with you, I don't think they're going to end up grabbing.
It's going to come down to hero plays once again. I think if Ninja can get set up properly with or without that Blossom, the kills can come through. It's just a matter of answering what's going to be on the other side.
Well, the biggest thing we continue to see, Ninja Ore going back into that backline as Z-Dox taking down Nyquist early. Ninja able to take down the Immortality before the fight even begins. Blossom coming out, ends up getting Jonak, but Z-Dox ends up taking down Ninja. The Bongos coming out now from Anxiety, trying to hold on as long as possible, but gonna end up getting taken out. Overtime ticking away as Ubi Pro trying to hold on. Gravitic Flux looking to see, oh! Couldn't grab the quickness of Panda Kai and Nyquist as they move their way into the objective, as well as Ninja on that Soldier 76 moving their way in. Blizzard coming down on the objective, making sure nobody touches, not a tick to be had, as they go ahead and hold on to that. Alex Yoshi in the chat saying thank you too, love you. I'm clipping that message. I mean, honestly, we couldn't have done it without you. 126 teams, folks. And this person almost single-handedly sorted every single division for their season matches, as well as their playoffs rankings. So, Alex, honestly, we could not have done it without you. So, thank you for being such an important part of the Rose Cup. Now, that being said, looking at the way that Triangulum did on the first map, or on the first area of Hanamura, one would venture to say that they're probably going to blow through this pretty quickly once again. What do you think about that, Megalad?
I mean, if history serves us as anything, then yes, they'll blow right through. But granted, as we just saw, Connection Lost was able to get point A in literally less than a minute. But on their first go around, it took them 3 minutes and a barrage, I'm pretty sure, before they were able to get in there and do what they had to do.
That's true.
We now see a Bastion on the field. We have a nice little bunker comp signature to Hanamura. Haven't been seeing it much lately, but it seems to be the call here, because you have 2 minutes 47 seconds to hold point A just to even up the scoreline in this series for Lost Connection.
Well, I think they can end up pulling it off. The bunker is incredibly powerful if they can make it work. Nyquist and Echo back on that Far Mercy once again, and now they see the Bastion as Ninja able to get Mudbone with that hold and the barrage of bullets. That's going to go ahead and force them to pull back. Explosivo able to pick off Nyquist though, but I was about to say, surprisingly, Echo not going for the res right there, since they were right beside them, but does end up pulling it off. We're not seeing a change in composition, so I guess their goal. Oh, they perfectly separated out Ninja from the rest of the team, booping them off of the high ground as they move in. The Immortality field now going up and not protecting any of the team. Nike was able to pick off Jonak very early in that fight as they continue to try to hold the high ground. It's a 5v6 fight. Barrage coming down. Nyquist able to get the double with the help of Ninja right there as the Coalescence not going to be able to solidify anything other than taking down Echo. Panda Kai able to eat up that ball from Rebler. And with 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock, I would say that Nebula Triangulum has their work cut out for it.
I mean, they do have a bit of an advantage here, though. They're still waiting on some respawns here, and they know it. They're going right in. They're going to try to push the 6v4 before the pharmacy's back.
Well, it looks like the Farm Mercy's already back in the fight, and they're trying to focus them down before moving into the objective. We see Jonak has swapped over to the Hanzo, looking to see if they can pick it up as the Valkyrie gets popped by Echo, realizing that their team needs some help. Jonak able to pick Nyquist out of the sky. The Valkyrie trying to hold everything on, as well as the Amplification Matrix, looking to see if they can get that first tick on the objective. But Pandakai and Ninja gonna take down Explosivo and Rebler. That's gonna go ahead and allow them to continue to hold on. Ninja following up on Jonak as the Queen goes for the hard reset over the side. 30 seconds remaining on the clock, and it's really going, I feel like it's really going to end up coming down to Explosivo's Blizzard. They're going to really have to follow up on that, maybe even using the Gravitic Flux from the Queen to be able to do some more damage in that Blizzard. Is going to shut this down. What do you think?
I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think Pandakai also could shut it down preemptively like this.
Woo! Pandakai able to take down Jonak early in the fight, as we see Bongo's now coming out for Ninja to do some damage on the objective, end up taking down everyone on the objective except for the Queen. The beat drop comes in, unfortunately, just a little too late, ends up taking down Zedox with the tank mode. Overtime's going to tick away, and connection loss gonna tie things up before the half, 1-1 here in the series.
I hate to be the one to bring it up, but if they had just gotten rid of even that 0.1 seconds, this map could 100% have gone the other way.
Yep.
But clutch
and
plays like that.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, clutch plays like that is what shows why Connection Loss was able to pull off that perfect season thus far. And I mean, this one looks like it could go the distance.
At very least, just even leaving one person on that objective would have made the difference for these two teams. So Triangulum, now learning from their mistakes, I hope, now realizes how important that is. So Connection Loss getting their first win of the evening here in the Masters playoffs. Gonna go into the half now 1-1 against Nebula Triangulum. Go ahead, start blowing up the chat with who y'all want to see take this victory away. We're gonna go ahead and throw it over to our halftime video. Go ahead and enjoy, get yourself some snacks, use the restroom, whatever y'all need to do. We'll be back in about 5 minutes rather, with some more amazing Overwatch action.
And that's
well, how about
most of the
that?
time they're all just square.
Oh, Krev getting that early
around, but can they teleport in? That's the main question. Can they teleport in safely? Is anything happening? It looks like they want to teleport up to the far high ground here. They actually, that was such a smart play. They used
That
the
was
wall
an insane
to get
play.
on. It was in main, and now they're just on the point. They are walled up though, so Storm Creator is already down. One of the longer ones that I've seen ever. It just keeps on going with all these sustainable heroes. No clutch death loss this time from Blue though. The freeze is there on Paragon, but no one to kill him. Storm Creator and Sereniac are on the side, but they can't really get any kills out of this. It looks like the self-destruct may be able to get someone. Does get Aerosmith, but and Sereniac gets back into the well. Nexus actually falling in this time. No more Reaper. They're losing the DPS. Paragon is trying to swing around here, but Sereniac just pumps in the damage with those Diva shotguns. Osprey trying to get another boop in, but it's going to be Blue actually getting Paragon from the other angle. Blue teleporting forward, goes for a will. Can they actually get it back? It's insane. This fight is going on forever, and they catch it back. The volcanic violence.
Engage, but this is not what you want when you're going against double barrier, and a huge ultimate gravitic flux from Prince Cats. He gets 3 of them with the help of his team. Awesome play there. To the rock accretion, kind of just taking a little bit damage down, and of course the first kill going to be coming over to Very Cool, who was playing on the Hanzo, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to get any picks here. Voltage doing a good work here of cleaning up the kills. As this power of the Mei here, walling off Connection Lost, preventing them from getting onto the team. Nyquist tries to come in, gets counterpunched by No Karen. In fact, she just says no right back, and you see, damn it, Karen, wall going up, charge coming in from Despair. The power really of the combination with the Mei, and that's going to be a push to choke to hold them here.
That's really where they do well, even throwing Meteor Strike out with the Shatter. Nice combo.
if Loco can get it off early. That's gonna be the biggest thing if they see that Nano Blade coming. And it looks like here
see
it
it
comes.
coming.
Speed drop's gonna come. Oh no! The Gravitic Flux and the Blizzard come in. Ursa able to get the double with RDK popping the Blossom.
Defense nowhere close to the defensive ultimate, so they're going to be on a little bit of pressure if that Nano Blades hits right now, and it doesn't look like it's going to come out. Oh, it's only the Blade. The Meteor Strike gets 3% Widowmane. This is a disaster. The Blade came out, and the Nano wasn't even used with it because Rifticle was under too much pressure, so that means the Blade will get 1, maybe 2 kills, then rush in when you see an opportunity. And they're taking it a little bit slower now, so it might be good taking that device straight away. But the Barrage!
The Rock ends up taking out the Barrage. What? That's incredible right there. Like, it's...
And we'll see that there with the Coalescence being used to try and hold it, but it's not going to work. Yes, the Bongo will take down the Fist will take down the Bongo, which is nice to see, but Maddie surprisingly going huge here, getting the kills, which is the power of Doomfist.
Idea on that one. Vaporous able to follow up there onto Lord Yukon. It's a 5v6 battle as again Voltage obviously, as we saw in chat, has some wings right there. Into the high ground, melting anyone that didn't realize that they used tank mode to get up onto that high ground. We're going to see Lord Yukon, the only one left to try to hold on to the objective, get melted by Voltage. We see the
Amping on the Desi, so it's still going to be that 5 in. The Res comes on to Bastion, so all was for naught in the end. Bab goes down. Immortality Field was dropped on the carpet. It was shredded by the Bastion. Hammond just trying to stall lines, but it's getting Sigma 9! That's so unfortunate.
Finds Volta and Portal with a charge kill on Define. That's 2 quick kills, 3! This Reaper will fall. Pilot will fall as soon as they get out of this raid format. Unless they get out with the TP. I think they're just going to try to stall out points as much as they can, but a quick swap at around 20%. It's going to come through for the Smilers.
Comes back with a Riz, and now the window of pain coming down for XC. I don't think we're going to see Phantom use this barrage. Maybe he's going to drop down and use it on the tanks. He's trying to turn it around for his team, and he's able to pick off 2 with that? How does that happen?
Fight on the objective as we see the tackle come in from Captain. Ends up getting taken down by Starlock. Oh my goodness! Phantom with the triple kill starting off already, and they haven't even grabbed the objective yet. MacGyver finding themselves on the outside of the objective.
We may see a full hold on point A from them. Window of Pain gonna go down in an interesting position, but there's the barrier to protect all projectiles from coming in. It's gonna be the Immortality Biscuit to try to keep Scion alive, Silco, but he is in danger right now because the rest of his team is slowly falling and he's unable to protect them. Very cool. The only one left alive.
Regroup, get some health back, and he still is just getting picked. It's an insane DPS power.
Uncontested second point capture. Blue goes down. The Shatter falls from Paragon. The Blizzard to follow it up. I don't think anyone's getting out alive over here. What a beautiful follow-up. And they have the ultimate, so why not use them? Pacifist last to fall.
Looking for it, and it's going to be really difficult for anybody to catch him out. Wait, can the Lucio see him? The Lucio sees him.
Lucio sees him. He's stuck in there. The nano charge. Oh, takes down the Reinhardt. Ranter with the nano boost on the Fortal. Oh, but Fortal with the double fire strike off the nano boost.
Gets revenge on Joe Biden, takes him down. The Immortality Field for Jacques does not last any longer. And Wooby, huge barrage, takes down 3. And we make it the 4th. There goes the 4th, and it's Alrighty, welcome on back to the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed that halftime, got yourself a little snack, maybe took a bathroom break if you needed. We are here in the Masters division with a 1-1 scoreline right now between Connection Lost and Triangulum. And hopefully we've seen a lot of interesting things. We haven't seen the nice and powerful double barrier the entire time. And, and there he is, the man of the hour.
Sorry about that, folks. I got a crying kid in the background. You might hear that in between mics. Unfortunately, she's not doing so hot, so I apologize. But as you were saying, we've got an amazing match going on between these two teams. Triangulum and Connection Lost currently 1-1 against each other going into this second half. As we head on to Kings Row, which is going to be our next map of the evening, want to give a shout out to Benny Winnie. coming in with that subscription. Thank you so much for supporting our amazing community. And with that being said, if you would like to support our amazing community, go ahead, hit that heart button and that bell, punch that bell at the top of your screen. That'll go ahead and notify you to any time that we are online, typically Monday through Saturday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also hit that subscribe button if you want to support our community monetarily, $4.99, or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will give you access to some new emote badges. Look at that Benny Winnie Ore sporting that beautiful bronze badge right there, that bronze Rose Cup badge. And you can also head over to Matcherino as you look in the chat to help us raise the prize pool. You can either donate directly with money, or you can complete little quests like liking, sharing posts on Twitter or Facebook that will go ahead and give you some money to the prize pool. I think if you complete all the quests, it donates about $6 in total. So every little bit helps, and it only takes about 10 minutes to do. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the match. It looks like we have... They're trolling us.
They're in the spawn.
Yeah, there it goes. I was about ready to say that we're getting trolled right there. Like, there's no way that that's going to be what it's actually going to be. We're seeing that Maywall Ore coming up from Explosivo, separating out the team. Connection loss, rather, from moving into the objective. Does shave off a little bit of time off the clock as Budget Jonak almost getting caught up due to that laser. Maywall's going up on either side, but ends up separating out one of connection loss. Nike was able to get away, as well as Jonak working in their backline right now. 30 seconds off the clock as they move their way in. Not a pick to be had just yet, as the fight continuing on. Already, Ubi Pro coming in with the Coalescence, but the Queen getting the first pick onto Echo. Pandakai does follow up onto Mudbone. It's a 5v5 fight as the Coalescence now coming out for Reveler. Allows Budget Jonak to take down Pandakai with the help of Explosivo. That's going to be a cleanup of the objective with just an exchange of 2 Kamehamehas. Nyquist able to get the pick onto Budget Jonak, but it's not going to be enough as they push connection loss back to spawn with 2 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock.
Yep, and they did get the late stagger onto UB Pro, which is gonna give time for Budget Jonak to come back, and he's just been massive in these fights so far on this Doomfist, finding picks, coming into angles.
Oh! 5-man Gravitic Flux coming in with that halt. The Shatter comes in, but ends up missing as Budget Jonak taking Ninja out of the fight as they swap over to that Reaper. The tackle comes in, but the Maywall from their own Nyquist ends up separating it out. Does allow Anxiety to get the double onto Zedox and to Mudbone, though. Ubi Pro following up onto Jonak. It's a 5v3 fight as they move their way into the objective, looking to see if they can gain some time by holding on, but will end up being unsuccessful. It is now a 6v6 fight once again as Ninja almost up on that Blossom. Blizzard coming in, but so does the beat drop and the counter. Blizzard ends up separating out either teams as the Graviton now coming out from Pandakai allows Nyquist and Ninja to go ahead and solidify up that double kill. Budget and DeQueen getting a double kill of their own as Zedox and Reveler, with the help of the bongos from Mudbone, end up clearing the objective once again with 2 ticks, 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock. That's going to go ahead and shut down that push and wait for another to come in from connection loss.
I mean, Nebula Triangulum, they're in a situation where most teams would have just been like, okay, we're just going to have to back out, give up the point. They say no, they hold their W keys, and it works out for them. The picks come through, and now we see the pharmacy swap for the side of connection loss, but with a little more than a minute on the clock, it could be too little too late.
And this is going to be a big one to deal with right now, as that part causes quite the separation. Jonak does end up getting Ninja in their backline, but Ugpro with the Coalescence takes down Jonak in return as the rest comes in for Ninja. It's a 5v6 fight on the objective. It's the Blossom coming out from Ninja, ends up getting Mudbone, and that's going to be a cleanup, getting that final tick as they move their way back. Oh, Z-Doc almost able to touch to keep that overtime going, but honestly wouldn't have done them any good at all, to be completely honest with you. It just would have ended up getting wiped and wasting maybe 1 or 2 seconds. But as we saw last map, like every millisecond counts, apparently. So
Yes, indeed. And I mean, as you were kind of highlighted in that fight, Ninquist on the far was able to not even deal the damage, just separate the team in half, allowed the pickoff onto Jonak. And now the Flux to initiate one more time.
there we go. Ends up getting 3, and with the help of Rebler, gonna go ahead and take down Ninja as Budget Jonak with the Meteor Strike. Follow-up damage takes down Pandakai as Mudbone follows up onto Anxiety. That's gonna go ahead and allow them to retake control of the objective as Zedox gets that final kill onto Nyquist, and Ubi Pro fall into the fist of Jonak. 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock, but now the spawn advantage is in favor of Connection Loss.
Yes, indeed, and they're going to be able to get better positioning, get to this high ground a whole lot easier. Plus, the ultimate bank, they're going to have the barrage as well as both support ultimates here. Of course, you'll have everything else on the other side to sustain, and the Bongos early could be looking for the picks.
They're looking for picks. They're looking to see if they can take down that Fara Mercy early, possibly. But ultimately, I think they're just wasting time off the clock, allowing them to prevent from pushing in. Kamehameha is coming out for either side right now as Ninja ends up having to retreat. The barrage comes down, but Nyquist ends up sending it straight into the Queen's barrier. Echo able to get the res onto Pandakai as Anxiety taking down Explosivo, those Bongos, and the Gravitic Flux. Gonna end up, oh, the Bongos coming out, almost saved Mudbone, but almost. As they take down Mudbone and Rebler, that's gonna go ahead and clear the objective once again as they go ahead and push into objective 2 with 1 minute, 10 seconds on the clock.
But you held that so far forward as the defenders, Nebula, Triangulum, that you're going to get another fight here on B if you want it.
Let's hope.
And you do have the ultimates, you have the Blizzard that can sustain you out, and you can have Budget Jonak potentially get a huge pickoff or at least zone half the team away from each other with the Meteor Strike.
All right, they're moving their way into the objective, countering for that final fight. Blossom coming out from Ninja, takes down Explosivo and Jonak. That is not a good position for this team to be in right now as Pandakai and Ninja also getting picks on Rebler and Mudbone. That's going to go ahead and clear the objective with just about 30 seconds on the clock. That'll give them another minute and a half, 2 minutes to push into objective 3.
I mean, I feel like I kind of jinxed it there, but Ninja immediately barrels down on both DPS, has his Blossom up, gets the crucial pickoffs, and ends any sort of sustained fight that could have been there. And now that we're here on C, the mirror compositions, the Pharah might not do as well with the root as the Flux starts.
Gravitic Flux comes out, but only ends up grabbing the 2 people that would have that were able to get out of it anyway. Ninja ends up taking down both Rebler and the Queen as Explosivo following up on Anxiety. Nyquist coming out with the barrage ends up taking down the rest with the res coming in on Anxiety. 1 minute, 15 seconds on the clock in their final push to objective 3.
And Explosivo still holding on to this Blizzard, still can be the clutch potential that this team needs for a hold here, but someone's got to get to the cart. We're only at 3 meters.
There it comes, the Blizzard holding on to it just to hopefully be able to get it very early. The Bongos ends up getting taken down by Ninja as Rebler focuses them down. Gravitic Flux coming in, does end up getting 2, but able to get their Icicle at the last moment is Explosivo, saving them in the end. To Queen able to take down Nyquist as the res does come in onto that high ground. Who the heck? Ended up, I guess Pandakai with that Gravitic Flux ended up moving to the high ground right there. I was almost like, who pooped them all the way up there? The Queen and Mudbone pushing them all the way back to the entrance of this area. 20 seconds on the clock.
Yes, indeed. And now that we see Echo switch over to that Lucio, interestingly enough, we're going to see Nyquist stay on the Pharah here, possibly hoping for a barrage to clutch out as Anxiety early Bongos.
That's the whole Bongo starting things off with the Coalescence as well. Beat drop comes in from Zedox trying to save the day and is looking to be successful for the most part as they continue to hold, but the payload is moving its way in. Blossom comes in as Ninja takes down Jonak. Pandakai following up on Mudbone. It is a 4v6 fight right now as Zedox trying to even the field, takes down Ninja. Explosivo following up on Nyquist. Gravitic Flux gets the other 4, and that ends up taking down 2. Rebler following up onto Ubi Pro, and the last one to touch is Pandakai. Overtime ticking away. They're not going to get off that payload this time around. They're going to hold it right there at 67.74 meters, just shy of the final destination.
Yes, indeed, and that does pave the path to victory here for Nebula Triangulum. Of course, it's not easy. Easier said than done, just cap 3 points, lol. But it is definitely doable here, especially if we're going to see the side of Connection Loss continue to attempt this Ryan Zarya. I feel like the double barrier, unfortunately, is just giving them more sustain. But at the same time, Ninja and Nyquist on the DPS duo between Reaper and Pharah have just been a nuisance for this team and not really answered at all, more just kind of ignored until the rest of the team falls.
With about 10 seconds on the clock, I can almost feel like they're going to be coming up with that bunker once again. It worked incredibly well when they were holding on to Hanamura during that first time around, and it looks like they may not be. But I wouldn't have been surprised if they ended up doing it, just because of how much time they ended up shaving off the clock, and Nebula Triangulum just not knowing what to do against a composition. They were kind of just throwing themselves at the wall, seeing if they could get a pick or two. But really, it ended up coming down to the sheer power of supporting Ninja on that Bastion that ended up saving the day. The last time around, it looks like Ninja going to go ahead and stick on that Reaper as Jonak and Explosiva going for the double sniper composition. And that kind of worries me.
I feel like it's just kind of an initial pick thing. You might see Jonak stick on the Hanzo simply because the Dragons are very good here on King's Row. There's a lot of narrow chokes, not a lot of places to hide from them. But Explosivo still hiding in the spawn, it seems. He's deciding to come out on the Widow.
Yeah, I think they were trying to get some early picks, but with them all around the Addleworth, there wasn't going to be a lot for them to go ahead and work through. They're already into the objective, though, as we see the Holt bringing down Mudbone, ends up getting taken down by Echo and Ninja. Nyquist following up onto Z-Doc. That's going to go ahead and pull them back as Jonak does get taken down by Ubi Pro. 3 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock as Nebula Triangulum resets.
Yes, indeed, and you do finally see Explosiva switch. Interestingly enough, Budget Jonak's also going to switch, possibly looking for that same pick potential that he's had all series on this Doomfist, or potentially just not thinking the Hanzo was the play there. Either
I mean, really, it comes down to if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, that's what they've been using for a majority of the fights. It's really been working out for them. The Doomfist is good for the double barrier composition. Coalescence coming out from Ubi Pro after the Queen gets the first pick onto Echo, so it's a 5v6 fight as dueling Coalescences come out from the Moira's. Explosivo able to pick off Ubi Pro, and like a set of dominoes, it looks like they be all falling down right now. The only ones left on the objective are Ninja and Nyquist, but they're going to go ahead and get taken out quickly. Second and third tick are going to be captured by Nebula Triangulum as they move their way into the area for Objective B as Rebler goes ahead and grabs that objective point. 4 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock.
A nice healthy time bank is something you'd love to see, but there are a lot of ultimates here for Connection Loss, so they could potentially get an early hold as well that we saw the side of Nebula Triangulum try here on their defense. Either way, though, this Blizzard's going to be huge regardless of where it's used.
Woo! The Queen trying to hold on right there, ends up getting frozen out as Anxiety fight, but they do have the spawn advantage right here to make it work for them if they can go ahead and move their way in. 6 ultimates coming online right now as they use the bongos for either side. Mudbone takes down Anxieties as Ubi Pro takes down Explosivo. Blossom coming out for Ninja, gets the triple as their Gravitic Flux looking to follow up on the Queen will end up being successful. Lots of ultimates spent into that, and I mean, they had them to spare. They went into that fight with all 6 ultimates online, and now Pandakai sitting on the high ground. Very interesting positioning right there.
I mean, if you have high ground, you can always just hold it for a bit, even if you have to give it up. But what's interesting about that fight is Ninja was actually frozen in the blizzard behind the rest of Nebula Triangulum, and they just didn't punish it. They didn't see he was there.
Well, I think it just might have been something they missed. They might have seen them go Ninja go into Wraith form and didn't even think twice about it, imagining that they probably escaped. And with a single Blizzard, Nyquist and the rest of Connection Loss going to go ahead and continue to hold this objective as they get the final cleanup there on Explosivo. 3 minutes on the clock.
And they started this with almost 5, so it's nice to have that little time burnt off the clock because it was a lot to deal with. But now you're still having to look down this. Pretty much all they have online for the side of Triangulum is going to be this Gravitic Flux, but Echo has the beat to counter. So, I don't know.
I find the interesting swap right here. Beat drop coming in from Echo as the Gravitic and Bongos for either side end up coming down. Budget able to take down Ninja and Nyquist, though, on that Junkrat. That makes it a 4v6 fight on this objective as Z-Doc's coming to take down Anxiety's Bongos. Everybody, and I mean just about everybody, is trapped in that side room, and I'm not exactly for certain why. Because when you got a Junkrat on the enemy team, the last place you want to be is in really, really close quarters. And that ended up shutting down this push. 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock as we go ahead and see another defense get ready to set up for connection loss.
I feel like you were going to start that off before the picks came through with the interesting swap to the Junkrat there, but Jonak immediately decided to prove you wrong. And then
I was a little surprised, I won't lie. I was surprised, but they ended up getting 4 out of the 6 picks, despite being the first pick in this fight. DeQueen second to follow as they go ahead and move their way and take over control of the payload. That's going to go ahead and force them to move all the way. Oh, Pandakai just barely getting Explosivo with that rock at the very last second. That's going to go ahead and shut down that push. 1 minute, 30 seconds on the clock.
Yes, indeed. And once again, the defense here has a lot of ultimates online. Both the Flux and Blossom ready to go, closing in on Blizzard and Coalescence. But meanwhile, a Tire can easily put away this point as it's not that far to go towards the end of B. As well as they have their own Bongos and Blizzard their own.
They're looking for it. That hold coming in. Nyquist coming out with the Blizzard as well as the Blossom coming out from Ninja. Doesn't end up solidifying any kills as some of the team gets frozen. Pandakai ends up getting the pick onto Z-Dox as now the Blizzard in return comes out, freezing a majority of the team. That's going to be a clean up for the side of Nebula Triangulum. The only ones left are Ubi Pro and Ninja, but they're going to end up falling to Jonek and Rebler. With 30 seconds on the clock, they're going to push that in to objective number 2 and give themselves actually less time than the opposing team had to get in there.
Yes, indeed, but Pandakai on the defense still has the Gravitic Flux up, and there's no beat to respond, so I feel like that's going to get them the defensive hold wherever they want it here on point C, and that could just snowball into their hold here as the Bongos start this fight.
That's right, Anxiety popping those Bongos, looking to see if they can get some additional damage. 1 minute, 30 seconds on the clock as we see Z-Dox in the high ground, looking to see if they can get that successful boop off the side as Dem Lucios do. Gravitic Flux coming out, does get 2, but we're gonna see the return getting 5. End up solidifying 2 kills for Nyquist on Z-Dox and Jonak as Pandakai follows up on Explosivo. That's gonna go ahead and push them all the way back to spawn as Echo and Ninja get some follow-up kills on the tanks. Nebula, Triangulum gonna go ahead and reset with a minute on the clock.
And now both teams pretty much tapped out the ult bank. Obviously, both Moira's going to have Coalescence as it builds just incredibly quickly, but it's going to come down to Jonak here. If the Tire can get value or if it'll just get shot out, at the very least, you can zone with it.
That's the one thing I've honestly been really surprised about is that Tire has not come out yet. Oh! Ninja does take down Jonak while they're in the Tire, but Jonak does get the double in return. That may be enough for them to continue to push into this objective. Ninja holding on, ends up going for the hard reset along with Ubi Pro. They know they have enough time to be able to get in before this final fight on this last objective. Ubi Pro and Ninja coming in with the Blossom and the Coalescence. How do you think this is going to come out?
I think it's going to come down to who can throw out Blizzard first and get more value out of it, but Z-Dox is already down.
Oh no, Z-Dox and Jonak going down early in that fight as the Blizzard grabs the rest. Blossom for Ninja gets the double right there as now the Blizzard in return comes out from Explosivo, but gets taken down by Pandakai before it can be released. Overtime ticking away and connection. Oh, Z-Dox almost able to touch, but unsuccessfully will be able to. Connection loss, walking away with their second win of the evening here on Kings Row.
Yes, indeed. But still, this is another map where even though Connection Loss is able to pull it out, just the back and forth between these two teams, I feel like they're just evenly matched, answering each other tick for tack when it comes for anything. So they do finally have the advantage in this series for the first time. But the question is, can they hold it going into Escort?
That is going to be the interesting one here. And I feel like the thing that's kind of been back and forth is really just a battle of the queue. Whoever ends up using their ultimate first kind of decides whether or not the match is going to go down the way that it should. As we saw um, on that last point, we ended up seeing Nyquist pop out the Blizzard just seconds before Explosivo could pop out theirs to be able to solidify that fight. Earlier on point 2, we ended up seeing the Blizzard come out from Nyquist, but ended up uh, the team without using the Holt from Anxiety to pull them all to the center. Many of them were on the edges and were able to escape out of that Blizzard. On the other hand, Mudbone using the Holt in combination with Explosivo's Blizzard ended up solidifying a majority of connection lost within it to be able to take over that objective. And really, it's coming down to timing. That's really what it's coming down to. Who ends up getting the ultimate first, who ends up using it first, and who ends up using it the most effectively.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just been the story of it. The queue, as you said, the queue who gets there faster gets there the loudest. But at the same time, anything could happen. We've seen both these teams, whiff on potential combos and then also land them. So if both these teams are firing on full cylinders, I think that's where we get these interesting fights where both teams will go down to, as we are simply just kind of waiting for a map pick to come on through here. It could be Rialto or Gibraltar. And personally, if I was Triangulum, I would opt maybe into Gibraltar just because you're more. I feel like you can beat them a lot better in the mirror than you can when they're on Ryan Zarya. Connection loss is just too powerful on it. As I say that though, Rialto is immediately picked. So
Well, I think what they might be going for is the trap on the bridge. I think the thing that really makes Rialto successful is if you can use the boops on that bridge to your advantage. You can really end up cutting off a majority of that map if you can just hold that single point. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, a boop off the side does way more damage than any Bastion or Widow headshot or Reaper headshot that you can get. That's really what it ends up coming down to. So if Triangulum, if their plan is to hold that very, very early bridge point for Rialto, this could end up working out well for them if Connection Lost has no idea how to really counter that.
yes, indeed. But at the same time, we're now on match point here for Connection Loss. So all they have to do is win this. So this could possibly be either where they finally go to their true aggression and you have to find a way to counter it, or this is where they could get reckless, get cocky, and you could take advantage of it if you're Nebula Triangulum. So it's going to be interesting to see what these teams roll out with. And I think that's pretty much what we're kind of waiting on.
I will definitely be watching out on that. And in the end, it depends on what map they're most practiced on. If Nebula Triangulum really feels comfortable when it comes to this map, it will end up working out in their favor, hopefully. But if Connection Lost is just as equally, if not more, trained on this map, it could end up working out very horribly for them. And this is one of the big issues that they're going to end up facing is the fact of Nyquist and Echo being on that far Mercy ends up separating out attention, as we've seen several times during this evening, does end up working out for their side because they're able to separate out their attention. There isn't someone specifically focusing Nyquist and Echo on that far Mercy, and they're just able to kind of rain damage from above. So let's go ahead and see if they can do it. They're set up in the position that they really want to hold this choke point. So let's see if they can successfully do that.
Yes, indeed. But Ninja back onto this Hanzo. Like we said before, the Dragons, they're not exactly pulling up in the kill feed, but they are zoning the team and creating the picks where they need to be. And Nyquist already halfway to a barrage.
And already we see them move past the choke point. Unfortunately, not going to be able to hold on to that as they move their way in. We see the freeze come down onto Pandakai, and Jonak gonna get that first pick in the fight as they go ahead and move their way back to the bridge. Ninja gets the pick onto Explosivo, but Jonak follows up onto Anxiety as Zdox also falling. Ubi Pro, Ninja able to take down Zdox in return. But Jonak takes down Ninja, and DeQueen will fall Nyquist after the boop onto Jonak. So both teams are finding themselves in difficult positions, but one has the spawn advantage, so connection lost. Ore making their way back in with almost a full team at the 3-minute mark will start pushing the payload again.
Yeah, but you see that they have that Triangulum knew this, so they immediately backed up. They're finally reformed as a team of 6, and Zdox gets the finishing blow to start a pick.
Oh! The Barrage able to get the Queen, but Rebler able to follow up onto Nyquist in return. So it's a trade evenly. Well, I'd say evenly if Jonak wasn't melting the back line of the rest of Connection Lost. 2 minutes 30 seconds on the clock as Ninja tries to see if they can clear things up with a headshot on Zdox, but Jonak gonna take them out just the same. 2 minutes 20 seconds on the clock as they move their way back in for another push.
I feel like as much as Ninquist has been able to get away with a lot here, I feel like we also have to give credit to the Queen using that Sigma barrier, which can go up in the sky and stopping a lot of that damage from raining in, really helping out his team here.
Woo! This could be a big one. The Dragon Strike comes in, separating out the team, but unsuccessfully gets a pit. The Storm Arrow, on the other hand, gonna take down Mudbone as Anxiety, falling to Jonak as well as Pandakai, able to get that double with the Blossom. That's gonna force their team all the way back as Ninja gets fallen by Jonak once again. 1 minute 40 seconds on the clock, and I gotta say, this is really looking like it's gonna be a good map for the side of Triangulum.
They're using a phenomenal first point hold here. And the ultimates, they're not even burning that many. They're keeping their ult economy in check, keeping it balanced. Meanwhile, Connection Lost is having to throw everything in the kitchen sink to try to burst this corner, and it doesn't seem like
Here comes the trade right here, because Ninja now swapping over to the Reaper, looking to see if they can successfully match up against Jonak after getting taken down so many freaking times during this match. The Blizzard ends up pulling them off the objective, but not able to get a pick as the Bongos now coming out for either side. Mudbone getting trapped a little bit on their own, but the Gravitic Flux looking, just being a little bit off. Interesting. It was a little bit off, so if you watch the motion for that Gravitic Flux, ended up just grabbing the high ground of the area that they were at, so it was almost a miscalculation, or so I thought, by DeQueen, but ended up grabbing Nyquist in the air and then taking them out of the fight. So, I mean, like I say, every ultimate that gets a kill is a good one.
Yes, and now Nyquist has to throw away that barrage with less than 30 seconds to go over to the May. But there's still a beat drop on the other side waiting for the Flux, and Reveler can kind of just throw this Coalescence in because at this point, they've got it.
Gravitic Flux going in the back line as we see. Rebler trying to hold on. Zdox able to take Pandakai out of the fight early as Ninja working their way back to the safety of the team. Nyquist and Anxiety fall. Explosivo and Jonak though, so it's a 4v6 fight on the objective as they go ahead and move their way in. They've got to give up some room because the tanks can't take down all that damage. Pandakai coming back in as the Hammond, looking to see if they can work out some boops as they are now on to the second bridge. They're going to contest on this single area right here. Ninja looking to see if they can get in that back line, but as Ore found out by Zdox, very low. Blossom coming out from budget, doesn't end up getting it though as Ninja following up on the double, and Pandakai using the ball and chain to take Jonak out of the fight. That's going to be a clear, so close for the side of Nebula Triangulum, but is going to be fell. Team kill, objective 1 captured, and 2 minutes 30 seconds added to the clock.
Oh my, I feel like Jonak could have been able to do it there with the Blossom. Unfortunately, it was just too obvious. He had to throw himself in and allow the boop for the side of Echo to get the Blossom far, far away from any teammates. And now we see that nice little 2 minutes and 30 seconds added to the time bank. Ninja has a Blossom, and Ninquist is built up to that Blizzard.
Ooh, the Blizzard comes out, and Ninja with the quadruple kill! Nyquist following up on DeQueen, and Explosiva following to Ninja again. that Blizzard will be wasted. Ninja will now be our ranking Reaper right now after a play like that. And Objective 2 only has a minute and 40 seconds on the clock.
But they've almost fully capped it already, and there's just ultimates galore for them as they're initiating already with dueling Kamehamehas.
And what it seems to continue to come down to is where they're focusing. The Queen able to eat up the Blizzard, but Panda Kai and Ninja get the double kill on the objective. Those bongos reigning supreme right now as they continue to move their way in. They're holding on, but it's not enough without that second shield. You just can't protect enough. 2 minutes, 40 seconds now on the clock as they move their way into what almost was not an Objective 3 run.
I mean, considering how Objective A went, it's just the matter of there's just been a constant snowball coming from Connection Lost. They've had the ultimates, they've been able to keep it rolling. Now we see here the beat is online for Echo, probably holding it for the Queen's Gravitic Flux. And I think it's just going to come down to, once again, this ult mirror, see who can do what.
Yep, the beat drop coming in as you predicted with the Gravitic Flux. Ninja able to take down Jonak, so Reaper out for one side. Ninja just getting free reign right now, not being able to be taken out of the fight yet. After swapping onto that Reaper, a lot of the team getting separated out by that Maywall, trying to hold on as long as possible, but Ninja will end up shotgunning the Queen right in the face, as well as Nyquist taking down Explosivo, Z-Dox falling to the Gravitic, and Ninja following up onto Mudbone. 1 minute, 40 seconds on the clock, and it looks like Objective 3 will end up being captured as Ninja takes down Rebler.
You had such an amazing point A hold, and then once it was capped, once the picks came in that allowed them to push in overtime, there was just a constant snowball, a cascade that Connection Lost was providing, and just there was no answer to it. Ninja coming alive on the Reaper, going into the backline, but it can be mirrored. Rialto is a map that we do see completed, so it would not surprise me if this went to extra innings.
I believe it will. I mean, the biggest issue that they ended up having was the fact that Ninja was essentially unsought out. Many times I ended up seeing Z-Dox kind of Reddit Lucioing around, and ended up seeing Ninja sometimes, but not all the time. They weren't looking for where Ninja was at, where they were going to come from, and many times we were just seemed completely unprepared, knowing that Ninja full well this entire series has been getting into their backline, similar to what we've been seeing come out from Jonak. So it kind of surprises me in a way that they haven't been looking out for Ninja, because Ninja has been one of the biggest issues that has been a thorn in their side for this entire game.
Yeah, it's just interesting. It doesn't seem like the tanks are really being cared for. Either that or the calls just aren't there once the tanks are dove by this Reaper. And Ninja's able to get such high value. Even if the tanks don't die, he's able to farm his ultimate so quickly off of them. And so I think it comes down to just the supports being able to peel better, but then also the DPS on your own side being able to turn and pick.
All right, well, let's see if they can make it happen. Once again, Ninja priming themselves to get into that backline very early on. And there he comes, working their way into the objective, but going to retreat to the safety of the team, not able to get that successful pick. But the payload is moving fervently forward right now as they go ahead and make their way around the first bend. Looking to see if that May wall will separate out some of the team. Z-Doc getting caught on the other side of that wall, going to allow Ninja to take them down. Rebler also falling to Anxiety. The rest of the team trying to retreat, but getting picked off one by one as they move their way back. It looks like we will end up seeing the Queen being the last one to fall to Ubi Pro right there. 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock.
And that's, by the time the whole team is respawned, that's a whole minute burnt off the clock for essentially one fight. The kiting from the damage coming out was immense from Connection Lost, but now we have Budget Jonak going back over to this Junkrat, possibly feeling there could be more value here than the Reaper, but there's just got to be an answer to this Reaper constantly in your backline.
Well, let's see if they can make it happen. That Junkrat has been working out really well for them. It's really going to come down to whether they can focus down Ninja. That's going to be the biggest thing right here. And right now, Panda Kai taking down Jonak early in that fight is not going to be good for them, making their way around this corner. They're going to be making their way to spawn really fast as they get taken out one by one. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Na, 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 na.
I
And there goes Docs at the
I felt how hard you were reaching for that, so
I
had
wasn't reaching for it. It was all there. It's all skill, no thrill, my fam. All skill, no thrill.
You know, I'll let the chat tell you about that one.
Yeah, they probably will.
Meanwhile, the defense for connection lost here is just immense because they have pretty much every ultimate online outside of the beat drop, which could provide a little bit of a window for the Queen with their flux.
But there comes Ninja again in that backline. The Blossom ends up taking down Explosivo, but that's about it. Ninja also following up onto Mudbone, and again, they are just... like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, they know that Ninja is going to end up coming behind them from one way or another. We saw Jonak was on that high ground right across from where Ninja was standing, and there obviously was either no call out or like they just completely ignored Ninja once again.
I mean, it's possible Ninja could be embracing the namesake and just being so stealthy he's not being detected.
Trying to be anyway, but Ninja going into that backline once again as the Gravitic Flux coming in for either side. Bongo's coming down for Anxiety and Blizzard for Nyquist. Jonak ends up getting taken down by the Gravitic, but Rebler holding on with that Coalescence, takes down Echoes. Now the Bongos coming out, looking to see if they can put this in their favor with only 60 seconds remaining. Blizzard coming down, looking to see if they can get that pick and might be successful, will be successful. Taking Panda Kai out of the fight. It is a 4v5, 4v6 fight right now as the beat drop coming in from Echo just over the side as Zedox takes Nyquist out of the fight. It is a 6v4 on this objective, but they are holding strong. Explosivo able to take Ninja out of the match as they continue to make their way in. Zedox able to get that boop kill onto Echo, and with 30 seconds remaining, it looks like they are essentially going to copy what they had during the most recent run from the side of Connection Lost. They're going to go ahead and grab this final objective. Maybe they're able to counter it just barely. The tire coming out gets the pick onto Panda Kai as Jonak Ore had taken down Ninja just before. Isn't enough as the trap takes down Echo. It is a 3v6 fight on the objective. Anxiety able to get the pick onto Mudbone. Blizzard coming out for the side of Connection Lost. This could be it. Beat drop now following up for Zedox as the Blossom comes out trying to separate it out. Jonak gets taken down. Echo following in their wake as Panda Kai takes down Explosivo with the punch. The only one able to even get close to the objective right now is Rebler, who's hiding in the shadows. Mudbone gets taken down as well, and unfortunately, Connection Lost. Well, I would say unfortunately for Triangulum. I really wanted to go to a map 5, but Connection Lost gonna go ahead and take away the victory here in the quarterfinal playoffs. Ninja walking away with the play of the game. That beautiful 4K Blossom with the 5th follow-up. And there it is. Team kill, folks. Just absolutely beautiful right there. So start blowing up in the chat who y'all want to take away your player of the match for this evening. Megalad, you want to start us off?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, between both these teams, first, I'd like to say just there's nothing to be ashamed of for Triangulum. You played your heart out. You came into a match where you were, honestly, if we're going off of record, you were expected to get rolled. We expected Connection Lost to just steamroll, absolutely dominate. Not only did you take a map off of them, but then you made every other map so painfully close. But painfully close is not enough. That's why my player of the match is actually going to go to Anxiety, simply for the Wrecking Ball clutch on Hanamura. Single-handedly gave his entire team the map of Hanamura, gave them that 1-1 scoreline going into the half. I feel like there's just anybody else on the team could deserve it, but I have to give it to Anxiety.
I feel like that was one of the clutchest moves that they had this entire night. If Connection Lost would have ended up losing that map, Triangulum would have went into the half 2-0 instead of 1-1, and it would have given them much more of a fighting chance since they ended up taking it. They could have lost these two maps, and then we ended up seeing them take Lijiang Tower, so more than likely they would have taken the second control map as well, just based on how we ended up seeing that go down. Unfortunately, it happened the way that it did. That's why I'm going to actually give some love. Although, Ninja, you get an honorable mention for your amazing plays, I'm going to give it to Nyquist. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Nyquist was able to literally, as the May, many times separate out the team very, very strategically. Ninja would not have been as successful getting that 5K right there as if Nyquist wouldn't have put that wall exactly behind the enemy team, so they had absolutely nowhere to escape to. And that was a trend that we saw the entire evening. Nyquist separating out the team either so they could pick off individual players or that they could get the entire team, as we saw right there. So player of the match is going to go to Nyquist for me. Looking in the chat, it looks like Panda Kai giving some love to themselves. Panda Kai Kappa, just saying. Huston Liu saying player of the match going to OG Mudbone for the side of Triangulum. I will say everyone was doing an incredible job. So love to see some love going on in the chat this evening for either side. It was a great matchup. Be sure to tune in for the rest of the week as we have many, many quarterfinals, a round of 12 matches going down. Tomorrow evening scheduled is the Platinum quarterfinals between Seed 3, Kings Row States, and Seed 11, YMC9. Diamond quarterfinals on Thursday going to number 1 seed Smilers versus number 8 seed Nebula Phoenix. So if you're a Nebula fan, definitely be sure to tune in for that one. Friday night, you're going to see another Diamond quarterfinals with number 3 seed Lunar Eclipse versus number 6 seed Wisdom Overwatch, and Platinum round of 12 match coming on Saturday with number 8 seed Feed Good Incorporated and number 9 seed Exiles. So be sure to check out all the action that's going to be right here on twitch.tv/the Rose Cup OW. But hey, if you don't want to pay attention to that, just go ahead and hit that heart and bell at the top of your screen. Punch that bell as hard as you can so that you can get notified anytime that we are online. Like I said, usually 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also hit that subscription button, $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription. We'll continue to support this amazing community as well as give you those nifty badges as you see Benny Winnie sporting right there, that 1 month subscriber bronze badge. I think we have bronze to like Grand Master, I believe. So if you get like above a year, you get the Grand Master badge. So I'm just saying they look pretty cool. Be able to check that out. You can also scroll back up a little bit in the chat. You'll see that link to Matrino.com, which is currently supplying a $400 prize pool that will be split amongst our 5 final teams that win between Gold and Grandmaster. You can support by either doing the little tests, which will give money directly to the prize pool, or you can literally donate money directly to the prize pool. With all that being said, I think that's going to be it for us this evening. Gentlemen, do you have anything else to put out?
I mean, if this quarterfinal was anything to indicate, I think we have a bunch of good Overwatch coming our way.
I completely agree with you. The playoffs are always incredibly, incredibly close. Even when we go into the finals, that's a round of 7 or best of 7 match. So, like, I think last season we ended up seeing many 4-3s. So if you're in for a lot of Overwatch, hang on. The next couple of weeks is going to be huge. Consider this a Christmas gift to you from us here at the Rose Cup. So be sure to tune in for all of that. Until next time, we want to thank so much Alex for all of the work that they've done here, as well as First Night of Knee for the amazing production that you do for us every night. Thank you so much for those amazing camera angles and all the work that you do. But now we're going to go ahead and sign off. My name's Captain Jack.
And I am Megalad.
And we will see you all next time.